Welcome back to Club News. Barringtons are the driving force behind a new charity aimed at helping people in Cambodian communities and regional areas which are often missed by larger charity organisations. Now 5 clubs have joined forces with Barringtons to help ensure Help2help is a success. Here to discuss Help2help and what they and the clubs involved are hoping to achieve is Jason Fullerton from Barringtons. Welcome, Jason.
Hi, Carissa.
Now, where did the idea for Help2help come about?
Look, the evolution of Help2help basically came from a trip one of our directors, Blaine Webb, and his family went to Cambodia. And understanding a little bit about the Webb family, they weren't satisfied with just going and seeing the traditional tourist destinations. And they wanted to look, understanding that, you know, part of the world's modern history is the tragedy that occurred over in Cambodia for some years with the Khmer Rouge regime. And they wanted to do a little bit more. They wanted to see exactly the impact that had on the community over there. And they found when they went to the tourist location of Siem Reap that they only needed to travel a short distance to see just how much impact that particular period had on that community over there in Cambodia. So at that time they were there, they delivered some aid, and upon their return that they felt that they were obliged in some respects to set up a charity. At that point it only took Blaine to sit down with a number of us at Barringtons and just give us some discussions about their experience over there and what they had witnessed and what they had seen, that we all felt compelled to get involved and to do something about it.
So what is the main focus of the charity? The
main focus of the charity is education. When they identified what was occurring over there, they seen that it wasn't a fact that they couldn't produce these people, it was more their capacity to produce, and education played a big role, or would play a big role in their capacity to produce. They certainly don't have the advantages that children have in our country as far as education goes, and most children go through their whole lives without any form of education whatsoever than what is provided from their families.
So Barringtons, I guess, were the directors came on board because they were really affected and touched by what Blaine explained to you.
Yes, that's right. And I guess when you travel to an area like that and you return to Australia, and that you just don't realise how lucky we are. And it was that was the main driving motive for what we're doing with the charity now.
So the 5 clubs involved are Dooley's Lidcombe, Club Rivers, Oak Flats Bowls and Recreation Club, East Leagues and West Sashfield. Yep. How did those clubs come on board? Well,
it was a similar environment to engaging everyone within our own workforce. We sat down, we had those discussions, and we told them about what was occurring over there and how we wanted to contribute, and how we felt we had some sort of corporate responsibility. We understand that predominantly we look after things locally in Australia, but we are a very lucky country, and this is only a short distance away. And when Blaine spoke about some of the experiences and what he had seen, for instance, a young child by the name of Rafa, who the Webbs are contributing to their family now, who's 11-year-old child who basically can't walk. He's got an undiagnosed physical condition. He lays down on a wooden board. He's taken out during the daytime just outside his house and then taken back in of a night. And it's those sort of driving emotions, those things that drive the emotions of people wanting to participate. In addition to that, some of the clubs seen that as an opportunity too, about how they might be able to get their staff involved in a staff incentive type program in that, because I think as humans there's nothing better than to be able to go and help those less fortunate than what we are.
Mm. And then so what kind of staff involvement will there be from these clubs?
The clubs have committed to sending staff. We have a trip next year where we're going to be walking 250 kilometres from the capital city of Cambodia to a location only 70 kilometres from Siem Reap, where the government has allocated us some land for us to build a school, and our main motive and our main driver at the moment is trying to raise the necessary funds to build an education facility where children can get the opportunity to learn.
Mm. So the financial assistance from clubs, these clubs that are involved, what does that allow the charity to do?
Well, there's a number of projects going on, a number of side projects. The number one project for the charity is, of course, to build this Help2help school. Aside from that, we're sending food we're assisting to feed families over there because there is a big existence of malnutrition. And we're also contributing to the health system over there because we see that, you know, the whole education, the concept of education and health work hand in hand together, and it's important that we look at those things that are impacting them in the health system over there. Things such as high rates of tuberculosis, high rates of malaria, and high rates of AIDS. So we're trying to assist in the health system over there, try to facilitate the treatment of patients in that area.
That's one of the things that I really like about Help to Help. It's not just turning up and giving people sort of food or money. It's actually focusing, I mean, there is that aspect, but focusing on giving people the tools they need to...
Yeah, well, look, we would love to think that there would be an expiry date for Help to Help. For us, our main goal is to be able to allow these people to be able to facilitate their own communities and give them a good quality of life, something that's going to be sustainable for some time. The curriculum, some of the curriculums we're looking at with respect to the Help to Help school are things like health, are things like agriculture, them being able to sustain food for themselves. So it's those kinds of things and that which hopefully will assist us.
And that education is so important because in Cambodia there's essentially a whole generation that missed out on school altogether. Yes,
that's right, and that's continuing too. So yeah, we need to do something about that.
Now, you mentioned earlier your first major project, the Walk to School Cambodia, to build this new school. Are you hoping that this school will be the first of many?
Yes, we are hoping it'll be the first of many. We'll hope that it becomes an infectious driver for not only Help to Help but for other charity organisations as well, because what we have found is that whilst there's a lot of aid and there's a lot of charity in that being sent to Cambodia, it's not extending beyond the main capital cities. And you only need to drive a short distance out of the main tourist areas, out of the main capital cities, to actually see that it's fairly evident that no aid is getting to those areas.
So for people who want to get involved, what can they do?
What can they do? Well, we've got a website. It's help2help.org.au. People can go to that website. They can donate online. They will be issued a tax invoice. We're a registered charity. And also just contact our offices and speak with us, and we can assist them come up with a program that they think would be the best outcome for their club or the best outcome for their family as far as their contribution goes. We've got staff in our office now making their own personal donations, which is going directly to the most needy families in that area. The Webbs themselves have contributed a number of their own funds to set up fridges, tuberculosis fridges that was absent in the health areas over there. They also, when they identified our little friend Ratha over there, 11-year-old who hasn't been able to be taken out to the village for some time because his mother just couldn't carry him after the age of 4, they immediately drove back to Siem Reap. They bought a pram, understanding that his condition was allowing him to lay on his back, took him there. He now goes around the village freely, pushed around by his sister, and has the enjoyment, that social interaction and that he's been missing. I mean, this is a kid that had no more opportunity other than to go out in the veranda of a day and to be returned back into a bedroom at night on a wooden board. So we're hoping to contribute to that.
Well, look, it sounds like a fantastic charity, and I hope making a difference in a lot of people's lives.
Thanks, Carissa.
Thank you. That's all for today's edition of Club News. The program returns on the 18th of September. Remember that every episode is available for viewing at the Club's New South Wales website. Goodbye.